What will Twitter say in its earnings report? Scott Kessler, equity analyst with S&P Capital IQ, joins me. Scott, first on the numbers, what are you looking for generally in terms of earnings and revenue gains?
Well, I think it's fair to say, Rhonda, that a lot of people don't appreciate one reality, and that's that Twitter, by and large, has actually done pretty well when it comes to executing from a financial perspective. So we look for healthy revenue growth. They already communicated last quarter that they're seeing some relative challenges, and they expect those to continue throughout the balance of the year. But we still see, on a relative basis, some pretty significant revenue growth and EPS earnings that continue to increase.
Can you put some numbers around that?
So for the year, we're looking for, I think, over 50% revenue growth. Now, we took that estimate down from earlier this year when the company indicated that they were having some issues with certain types of advertising products. That being said, however, we think at this point, Twitter, interestingly enough, is not going to be about the revenue growth or the earnings. It's really going to be focused on two things. We think, number one, how they're performing in terms of users. They put out a metric called monthly active users. That's obviously extremely important as people try to measure the success and growth of the company. And then secondly, we think any kind of comments about how they're increasing monetization, that's something that I think folks would be encouraged by.
And if there were a third item on your list of things to watch, what about any comments about the future leadership there?
I think it's too early to tell. Clearly, they're going to be asked about this and likely preemptively looking to comment, but I don't think they have any specifics to offer. We have said that we expect that the company will announce a new CEO by the end of the year. We'd be surprised, frankly, if someone wasn't in place soon thereafter, if not before. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that interim CEO Jack Dorsey is not going to continue on a permanent basis for a variety of reasons, and we wouldn't be surprised if someone either internal to the company or very familiar to Silicon Valley followers were to become CEO.
Scott, what's the catalyst that's going to send Twitter stock higher at this point? Will it be the numbers, or does it have to be something more like the naming of a new leader?
Well, I think both of those things are very important, but I think over the near term, I think any indications that Twitter's strategy continues to work. You know, the company has been widely criticized and the stock has fallen pretty dramatically if you look back just a couple of months. This was a stock that was trading over $50. Now we're looking at it in the mid-30s, I think, with people kind of apprehensive about upcoming earnings. At this point, indications about strategy, user growth, and monetization. Those are the three things that people want to hear about and get a sense that the company is making progress regarding. So near term, Twitter's done a very commendable job, we think, in terms of revenues and earnings, but folks haven't been overly concerned by that because they still see Twitter as kind of not very focused and not executing particularly well.
Scott Kessler, S&P Capital IQ, thanks so much.
Thanks, Rhonda.
I'm Rhonda Schaffler for The Street.